What's up, y'all? I'm Jay. I'm a vocal coach, and today I'm going to be reacting to Ray's performance of The Thrill Is Gone at the Mercury Awards. Let's get into it. Yes, band.
Card games and heart games, I said let's play, I should know better. My boy ain't my boy, but I call him that cause it feels better. Court case last Monday, but he buzzed
Real.
twice, I feel better. Painkillers and codeine, I got stomach cramps and I'm a sweater. Dark words means dark mind, now there's dark stains under my eyes. I'm scared when I look at him and I don't know why, I'm surprised. Silk sheets and I'm crying in them and I'm staying here when I should go.
That bass line is crazy.
I'm scared if I leave now, I'll never come back, so I sip slow. Say something nice to me, say something nice to me. I nod and I agree, you get so mad if I disagree. So he invited me to sit here silently now. He can't stand the sight of me. Used to get excited, but now the thrill is gone, thrill is gone, thrill is gone.
Nice lead up into the chorus. That was dope. I love this song. Yes, Riff. She went crazy with that one.
See, I can't sleep in the same bed as you. Something just doesn't feel right. When you fall asleep, I leave the room as you're closing your eyes.
Different vibe in this
section. Me
section.
quickly and I get in my car. But babe, the second I leave you, I wish I was where you are. Say, won't you say something nice to me? Won't you say, won't you say that?
She's so raw, so emotional all the time. Like I feel what she's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to put your hands together? Hey, hey, gotta get on the road, gotta shake a little gotta get up, get on a plane now, I say, and I'll leave them in the past, I pray, and I know it's done, it's sad to say, but the deal is
This is a new vibe in section 2. So cool. Yes, Brad. So now they're the lead instrument. Yeah. Very cool. Yes. This is like 4 songs in one.
The thrill is just, ain't it just? I think it's just so.
Yes. She ate.
Thank you.
Yes. God, that was incredible. That was so good. She killed that. Whoa, so that was Ray's incredible performance of The Thrill Is Gone at the Mercury Prize. Shout out to Mark Todd for making that incredible suggestion. That's actually one of my favorite Ray songs, and I was really excited to just check out and get like a good recommendation for a good performance of it. So thanks so much for that. I like this song a lot just because I am a songwriter myself, and one of the key things that I look for really with songs is, does it have a very clear hook and do the lyrics match up with it? Because to me, I think that a lot of songwriters may disagree in their approach to writing, but to me personally, If your lyrics are really good, but they're not singable, they're not memorable, then there's no point. The whole point of songwriting is to be able to marry both your melody and lyrics together. And I think with a song like this, they align in a way that's just super clean, super clear, and we really get the concept in especially the chorus section of the song. I also just really love that line in the chorus about, the thrill in his eyes dies, like, the thrill is gone. That really is a good encapsulation of the entire message, the whole point of the song. I think sometimes also when we're talking about structure, the structure of a song, people kind of lose sight of that and they just think like, oh, this, I have to have a verse and I have to have a chorus, but I don't really know what all of those things do. But to kind of summarize it and put it simply, the verses are supposed to give you the story, the characters involved, the places, your nouns, people, places, things, all that, you know, um, contextual stuff. Whereas the chorus is really supposed to be like, what at the end of the day is the big picture? What is the big point? What is this song actually about? And what do I want the listeners to walk away taking from it? Which I think that this song does really, really well because in the verses, she sets up, the premise of the relationship and them kind of having a rocky time. And then we get into the chorus, which is, the thrill is gone. We get the point at that point. That's kind of like the exclamation point. And then she ends it on this like incredible epic riff that she does on the word thrill. Her voice is just it's very piercing. It's very cutting. I think that what separates Ray from some of the other people that she gets compared to quite often is that it really feels like she is not restricted to the technique or just sounding pretty. I don't think that she really cares about that. For her, it's more about like, what can I do with my voice to elevate the overall message and the point that I'm trying to convey. So there's just this rawness, this edginess. Her voice is a lot of times, especially when she's going for like the belty high stuff, it really feels like there's just this knife that's cutting towards you. And a lot of that has to do with like the type of vowel that she does. Very spread, very kind of in a smile shape, which kind of helps you achieve that kind of sound. If you're somebody that believes in the whole like placement thing, like place the sound forward, that's kind of how she's doing that with the placement of the vowel. Kind of makes it feel like the sound is coming from right here from our perspective. In terms of the overall arrangement at this point, I know she does the whole big band thing, but I really liked that in this performance in particular, it really felt like we got a section with each of the band members. The drummer had some really cool fills and moments, and the way that it was filmed really allowed us to see that and take it in, and he was showcased a lot. And then there was that moment with the brass where she acknowledged them to the audience, which, just a note, is a very jazz thing to do. In pop music, it's a little bit different in terms of like just the dynamics between the different players. With pop music, usually it's all about the singer, the person at the forefront, your Taylor Swifts, Billie Eilish, Charlie XCX, Chapel Roans, that's like the person, right? But in jazz music, the dynamic, the kind of the weight of everything is distributed a little bit more equally. It's more of a group effort, and you'll find that if there is a singer in a jazz group, like a combo, if you will, they're often going to be the person that's in charge of acknowledging the other band members when they have their respective solos or like important parts, because they're usually the ones that have the easiest access to the mic. And it, again, jazz is more of a group collaborative effort, so it's more important to have that acknowledgement for everybody. I appreciate that she did that for the brass section, especially since at that point it seemed like they had taken over for like the lead instrumental role, whereas before it was the bassist, which I love this bass line. I think it is a sick bass line. I'm actually learning bass right now myself. So I just appreciate a really good bass line in any song. I might actually try to learn it at some point. I think that would be really fun. Another thing I really liked about this performance in particular is that it really felt like a journey of sorts. Like it really felt like we went through this journey of a relationship that kind of lost its flair with her through like these weird different stages throughout the song itself, because the verses felt really really different from the chorus itself, and the verses felt different from each other. And then we had this outro section where she was doing these cool, like almost I would say like operatic feeling melismas that she ends on like this big belted note that felt really really epic, and it was incredible. um yeah, I mean, she just like never ceases to amaze me or surprise me at this point. But I mean, this I keep saying it. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but this might actually be one of my favorite Ray performances. That's probably gonna change next week. I'll probably say it again. I'm sorry, but yeah, that was incredible. One of my favorites so far. All right, so that was my reaction to The Thrill Is Gone by Ray at the Mercury Prize. Hopefully, you enjoyed my reaction. And again, thank you to Mark Todd for that suggestion. If you all have any other suggestions for me, go ahead and just let me know in the comments. I'd love to learn about new singers and just see what's going on in the rest of the world as well. Kind of have this blind spot to places outside of the US and UK, but I really want to learn about more singers. I think it's interesting. I think that would be a fun thing to explore on this channel. So, yeah, let me know about any other song suggestions and like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff as well. Thanks.